ladies, this is Crystal and I'm going to be walking you through the complete application process for the Jamberry nail wraps, including some of my best tips and tricks to help you along. Really quickly, here's what you'll need before we get started. You'll need your Jamberry mini heater or a blow dryer. You'll need scissors of some kind, full size or manicure scissors are fine. Your nail wraps that you're going to be using. You'll need some tweezers, a metal spoon pusher or a rubber cuticle pusher are optional but super handy. And then you will need a nail file or you can also utilize nail clippers depending on the length of your nails. If your nails are super short, clippers may be better. And then you'll also need a Ziploc baggie of some kind. Any size is fine. No specifics there, and I'll tell you the reason for that in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, keeping in mind that at this point we assume that you've already done full and complete nail prep. If you haven't already seen the nail prep video, please go and view that first. You'll need to make sure that your nails are properly prepared before trying to apply your wraps. So the first thing we need to do is find the right fit wrap for our fingers. So you'll notice your wraps are on a clear backing. This is to help you find the right size. You always want to size down so that there's a small gap around the wrap, between the wrap and your fingernail. The reason for this is because we don't want any wrap touching your skin or cuticle. Those areas are oily and they will prevent the perfect adhesion to the nail. So you'll want to make sure that there's a little gap. Do not be afraid to leave a gap. I promise it won't show later. But it's going to give you the best application possible. So what you'll do is go ahead and find the wrap that best fits your finger while leaving a small gap all the way around. What's nice is once you decide which wrap size is best, you kind of always know that. So I know that, for example, on my ring finger, I always wear the 4th wrap from the bottom, etc. Okay, so now that I've selected my wrap size, I'm going to go ahead and start to peel off my wrap. Now it's extremely important here that we utilize tweezers, or you can use your orange stick, or you can use the end of a cuticle pusher, you can utilize the end of your scissor, but you don't want to touch your nail wrap. That's how you'll get oils on it, and again, you'll start to erode the adhesive on the back, and that's gonna take some of the life off of your wrap. So I'm gonna go ahead and just peel off half the wrap, just take half of it up off the plastic, and then I'm just gonna cut it in half. Okay, so now I'm working with just half a wrap. Okay, everybody see that? The next step, if we were doing this according to the Jamberry official application process, would be to go ahead and heat this up with our mini heater. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my mini heater on. So the next step would be to heat this up with our mini heater and then apply it to our nail. I'm actually not going to heat it up first. I'm going to do something called a cold application process. So this is my first tip. You can test out both methods and see which one you like best. For me personally, the cold application process just does much better for my nails and lengthening the wear of my wraps. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to gently place my wrap first. So I'm not going to heat it up first, and I'm just really going to just set it on my nail. Not pushing it down, I'm just barely touching it to the nail. Okay, what that allows me to do is if I notice that I need to do some manipulating of the wrap, this gives me the ability to still pick it up and reposition. Okay, so this is also a great method if you're a beginner, because you might not know exactly where to set the wrap just yet. Okay, can you guys see that from the side? See that it's not down over my nail yet, it's just sitting there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and apply my first round of heat. Really, this is all about heat and pressure. The adhesive is heat and pressure activated, so that's how you're going to get the best adhesion. Okay, so I'm just going to hold my hand in front of the heater for just a few seconds. I'm just going to hold that wrap until I start to see it curl. That lets me know that it's ready to start being applied. Now you can do this next step with your finger, but our purple rubber cuticle pushers are absolute gold, literally. I mean, just they make this so amazing. What I like to do is a stripe straight down the middle. Okay, so I get that middle section adhered nice and tight. Then I'm going to do almost a U shape around each side. Okay, so I'm going to start with this side, and I start at the bottom with applying pressure and then work my way up to the top. Okay, I'm going to go down to the next side and start at the bottom, applying pressure, and working my way up to the top. Okay. So now at this point, I've got full adhesion of that nail wrap. Okay. So again, once I get that on there, I'm going to go ahead now and apply more heat. Okay. More heat. And I'm going to continue to rub. Remember, heat and pressure is what it's all about. So you want to keep doing that. Here is another one of my tricks. It's the pull and stretch method. This is going to be especially important if you have rounded nails, whether they're rounded this way, or for some of us, we have both. What you're going to want to do is heat your wrap up, and then pull and stretch the end of the wrap down over your nails. What this does is it helps if you get any bubbling down at the edges here. This gives you a nice smooth application all the way around. Okay, so pull and stretch. I was so nervous when I first started with Jamberry that I was gonna like hurt the wrap. These are vinyl, they're not going anywhere until you cut them. You're not gonna tear the wrap, you're not gonna hurt it. So pull it and give it a really good pull and stretch. And then again, more pressure, 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 pressure. And I like to do the 1, 2, 3 process, and that means we heat it and rub it at least 3 times. So this is gonna be our 3rd heating of the wrap. And more pressure. And again, you can use your finger, that's fine, or if you've got your rubber cuticle pusher, this is phenomenal as well. Make sure to pay special close attention to the edges all the way around near the cuticle, and then also the very edge of your nail, because that's where it's going to want to lift if you don't get enough pressure there. So really make sure you're applying a ton of pressure right there at the edge of the nail. Sorry, went off the screen there. Okay, so now our nail wrap's been applied. Okay. The next step is going to be to trim or file. Now, here's another tip. Don't do any of that until the wrap is cooled off. Okay? When the wrap is still hot, it's still really pliable. So if you start trying to file it, you might start to peel it up off the edge. Okay? You need to give the adhesive time to set. So what I usually will do at this point, and I'm just going to turn off my heater for just a second. What I do at this point is I would do all of my nails, then I'll go back and trim and file them. Okay, so that's my suggestion, is don't complete one nail. You need to apply them all and then file them all off at the end after they're nice and cooled off. Okay, when in doubt, let them cool for a few minutes. This is going to really make a difference in the length of wear for your wraps. Okay, so for the sake of moving on with the video, I am going to go ahead and finish this up at this point. What I like to do, because my nails are quite short right now, so I have a lot left over, is I like to just take a little manicure scissor and I like to flip my nail over and just trim off quite a bit of the excess. Okay, so that I'm not having to work with quite so much. It's up to you, and you can certainly use a regular scissor as well. You can utilize your nail clippers at this point. That's fine too, but that's one thing that I like to do. And then as long as your nail hangs over a little bit, then you can go ahead and use the filing method. Okay, and what I do is take a nice coarse nail file. Glass nail files work great for this as well, which are in our deluxe kit. This nail file is in our standard kit. And you're going to file at a 90-degree angle, and you're just going to file downward and then pull away, downward. Okay, it's really important here that we not file up and down. That's going to start to tear your nail. Okay, so you're just going to file downward, and that's going to take off all of that excess wrap. You see it starting to come off there. So we're just going to get all that excess wrap removed. Okay, so mine is all off now. Looks good. Let me get back in focus there. You can see that all the excess wrap is off. Okay, so it looks like we have a nice seal there. Now, if your nails are super, super short, where there's no overhang and it's really difficult to file at that 90-degree angle, go ahead and just clip them off with a nail clipper. Okay, don't worry about trying to file them. Just cut them down. That's also how I do my toenails, for example, because I keep them cut super short, is I don't file them. I just use a nail clipper to cut the wrap right off to where I want it to be. It even works if you take a little bit of nail with it. So a lot of times I don't trim my toenails, for example, before I put my wraps on. I put my wraps on and then trim them down. Now our final step, and my probably most important tip that I'm going to offer you tonight, is called the Baggie Method. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my heater back on, or you would want to get your blow dryer ready. And what we're going to do once we've got all of our nails done and they've all been trimmed is you're going to grab a plastic bag, and you're almost going to make like a little tourniquet with it. Okay. Just getting a really tight seal around your finger, and then apply heat one more time. And what this is going to do is it's going to ensure that the edge of the wrap, now that it's been filed off, still has a really good seal. Okay, that's not going to come undone at all. Okay, so I just hold it under the heat for a few seconds. This should